Okay, I'll be honest with you, carrying a concealed firearm for the first time can be real annoying. How the heck do I know that I found the right holster that's safe and conceals well with what I'm wearing? This week, we're gonna get you on the right path to a successful concealed carry life, from choosing a holster to knowing your state's concealed carry laws. On the range, we'll find out how to conceal in different outfits, and then I'll give you some tips on how to draw from concealment like a baddie. My name is Paige, and this is Reloaded. So when you're ready to carry your firearm concealed, a common question that you might have is, what's the best holster? And you know what? It's $1 million question. So a holster stores a gun on your body, which varies depending on what gun you have and where you want to carry it, or what part of your body you want to carry it. And the best holster is different for everyone. And ultimately, all that matters is that it works for you and it's safe and protects the trigger. Now, keep in mind, no one finds the perfect holster on the first purchase. There's no one and done. So you may go through a few, or some of my holsters that I've tried out through the years until I found the one that works for me right now. Tons, and I've actually gotten rid of a few since this. We know what holsters are and that you've got options. Now, what exactly is concealed carry? It means carrying a firearm in public, but in a way that isn't visible to other people. Now, here's where things get a little bit muddy. Depending on what state you're in, concealed carry laws can change. So much so that states even defined a loaded gun differently. So my lifesaver is this baby right here. It's the Traveler's Guide to the Firearm Laws of the 50 States. Now, the name could have been a little bit more creative. However, this is my favorite book to reference when it comes to firearm laws, because it's like page-level understanding. It's just easy to understand. It defines things really easily, and I swear by it, especially for travel and in my home state. So it starts by just defining some terms like loaded versus unloaded, or open carry versus concealed carry, which is really nice before you get into all the material. And then going through the book, it'll have every state on the top of the page, and then a scale from 0 to 100. So 0 means total prohibition, as in hates guns and anything to do with the Second Amendment, at least that's my interpretation. And 100 means total freedom, AKA America. And I obviously don't have time to go through all 50 states, so we're just gonna look through 2 states on the complete opposite spectrum, Arizona and New Jersey. So let's start with Arizona. So Arizona, can you guess what spectrum it's on? It's 100, which means total freedom. We're like the Wild West out here, right? It's so easy to get your permit here because Arizona is a shall issue state, meaning my permit approval isn't dependent on someone else's discretion. Thank you, Arizona. We love you. But then there are states like Hawaii and New Jersey. They're both pretty much the worst states on the spectrum, as in total prohibition. Honestly, 2 of my biggest fears are flying and water. So you have to do both to get to Hawaii. At least from Arizona, you have to fly and fly over water, so you will not be seeing me in Hawaii anytime soon. Let's take a look at New Jersey, another place that I probably won't be visiting anytime soon. But just to put things into perspective of how insane this state is, let's see. So a carry permit is required for handgun possession. You need a firearm purchaser identification card for long guns. How the jeepers do you get that? And hollow point ammo is prohibited unless kept at home. Want to own a semi-automatic or high-capacity magazines? Nope. Machine guns and suppressors are also totally prohibited from civilians. So just think about this for a moment. Arizona has almost total freedom compared to New Jersey regulations. Same country, same constitution, different state and rules. So it's just, I don't know, crazy how one state can make all the difference in all of your gun owning experience. It's just, ugh. But this isn't about me not liking something. This is about me asking why it's okay for a state government to make it so difficult for its citizens to practice their Second Amendment right and defend themselves if needed. New Jersey's license to conceal carry is issued on a may issue basis. So do you remember how Arizona is a shall issue? New Jersey is may issue, meaning that the state allows a certain amount of discretion over the issuance of a permit to conceal a firearm. And basically, in plain terms, even if a civilian goes through the process necessary to obtain a firearm legally, the state can still be like, nah. So going through this book and all the different laws, the trend with these states seem to be that either their local sheriff has a say in your acceptance, or you have to plead your case as to like why you need your gun or why you deserve to have your gun. And after all that, the permit is then issued by a state superior court on a highly discretionary basis and is only good for a 2-year term. Shout out to AZ for being 5 years. And remember, you want to purchase a rifle or a shotgun, you will also need a firearm purchaser identification card. It's just a lot of stuff. Why go through this whole process? The government in New Jersey is spending so much time restricting law-abiding citizens from their ability to empower and protect themselves, but criminals? You know they're not going to go through the process to get this gun. These state governments are wasting so much time and energy restricting their citizens' Second Amendment rights, and it puts so much power in the hands of criminals. Governments like New Jersey are literally disarming their citizens. But the insanity goes on. So 2 important terms that you need to know are castle doctrine and stand your ground. So states that have castle doctrine in law say that individuals have the right to use reasonable force, including deadly force, to protect themselves against an intruder in their home. And then stand your ground law means, quote, individuals can use force to defend themselves without first attempting to retreat from danger. New Jersey, of course, doesn't have castle doctrine or stand your ground. They have duty to retreat. So this requires a person as a first response to back away or flee from a threatening situation rather than attempt self-defense. So even if you legally have a gun, you are literally screwed because the state expects you to get yourself out of a threatening situation that you didn't even put yourself in. And basically, if you live in New Jersey or you're just visiting and you own a firearm, you can't do a diddly squat with it. But like I said, I can't go through every state in this book, but this book has all 50 states. Definitely go through it. I love it, and it's what I use all the time. And it also includes contact information for all the relevant agencies in your state. And in the very back of the book, it goes over reciprocity and recognition for every state. Now we can get back to where we started, which is holsters. Now these come in different shapes, sizes, and materials, as you can see, so that you can carry in different ways. And the goal is to just make sure that the trigger is protected and the holster has good retention. And of course, that it helps you conceal your firearm comfortably in whatever outfit you're wearing. The biggest concern people have is thinking that the gun might just like go off while holding in the holster, but no, it's not gonna happen as long as you have a reliable holster. So one way you'll know it's reliable is by the retention. And this means basically that the gun doesn't fall out of the holster even if you're moving around, bending over a lot, or I don't know, doing a handstand or something, right? So if you're just getting into concealed carry, I recommend finding an option or two and then just trying it out with your gun completely unloaded. Wear it around your house, sit on the couch with it, do laundry, and then if you have kids, definitely practice holding them to see how they react with you having a holster on your body. And then in doing this with an unloaded gun, you'll prove to yourself that you can handle the holster. The next step is putting a loaded magazine in without a round in the chamber or with a round in the chamber. That's completely up to you. But the purpose of this is to make the gun heavier and more realistic for when you go out of the house. Wear the holster around with the added weight and then try it on with different outfits. And at first, you're gonna feel like everyone and their mom can tell that you're carrying, but I promise that's not true. Okay, so we've got firearm and concealed carry laws, and we are only scratching the surface on holsters. So don't go anywhere because I've got more concealed carry goodness for you. I'm Paige Rue, and this is Reloaded. Okay, so I'm sure you figured out that there's a lot to consider when choosing how to carry. So we're gonna have some fun and test out some holsters in different outfits. All right, range time. Let's go. Okay, for all the guys watching, it's easy for you to decide what to wear. You just dress simple. It's like jeans and a t-shirt and then you're good. Maybe shorts. But girls have rompers and dresses, leggings, work clothes, going out clothes. It's exhausting. Just like shoes, and depending on your style, when you conceal and what you conceal will require different holsters for different outfits. So personally, I look for comfort in a holster, especially as a girl. I just want to feel like I can wear that thing all day without having to like alter my life. Now, some common holsters that we have on the table here are gonna be like nylon grippier materials. We have Kydex. These are gonna be more positive trigger protection. Then we have belly bands or garter belts, and then more modular. We also have purses and leather holsters. Leather holsters aren't as popular anymore, but purses are also very popular. Now, what's fun about the gun industry is that it's not what it used to be. Like 15 years ago, there was maybe 3 options of holsters that weren't leather. Now, speaking of, let's look at a couple different outfits to see how I might choose a holster. And gentlemen, this still applies to you, I promise, so keep watching. All right, so outfit number 1, jeans and a t-shirt, good for men and women, of course. Now, depending on where you want to carry around your waistband, personally, I like carrying appendix. An appendix is just right up front, so it'll look something like this. And right now, I'm carrying a Kydex holster, so it's gonna be plastic, and it has positive trigger protection, so I can easily pull it out and then click it back in. You can carry here, you can also carry on your side, or 4 or 5 o'clock, which is kind of on your back side. So this is Kydex. Let's look at a couple different more options. So this one, same thing, I'm carrying appendix. This one just kind of has like a grippy material and it works with your skin or on fabric. It just works with pressure. So as long as there's pressure, meaning my jeans with or without a belt, it'll keep that gun in place, and then all I have to do is easily draw out. Honestly too, I'm a female and I feel like I have to go to the bathroom like every 47 seconds. So it's easy to take it out, put it in my purse, gun is still safe, and then I can easily put it back on. So it just looks like this, and it doesn't fall out, and really easy to conceal for both men and women. All right, so last one I want to talk about is the belly band. Really good for men and women, depending on if your jeans or whatever pants you're wearing with your t-shirt is just a little too loose and you can't wear a belt. The sticky holster might feel like it's falling off, but they also have a belly band, so you can kind of create your own waistline and make it as tight or as loose as you want. You can do this while running, going to the store, and then if you do need to use the restroom or anything like that, the belly band and the whole system stays on your body, which I think is really nice. Really easy to draw. Now, the only difference with holsters like this is that in order to reholster, unlike the Kydex, you have to physically remove the soft holster, reholster the gun, and then put it on your body. So that's kind of a downside. And then another thing also is that it doesn't have a hard trigger guard. Some people like that, some people don't. All right, so this is very athleisure, right? Leggings, sometimes a crop top, or even just a tank top. Now for leggings, my first option is gonna be just a softer holster as well. For crop tops or leggings though, if you have tighter clothing, I like using, if you have this option, a thinner or single stack firearm. So this one is a Glock 43. Just feel like it's easier for me to conceal rather than more of a double stack. This one's really comfortable. I need to wear leggings that are tight though, and sometimes that waistband in your leggings or just your workout pants, that waistband sometimes is just not as firm. It's a little bit loose. With this holster, it'd kind of bend back and forth, or if you're going on a run. So let's take a look at the belly band. So this is a different type of belly band, and I wouldn't wear it like this normally. I would put it underneath my leggings, but just to show you all what it looks like. And then this is gonna be a little different because remember the last one that I showed you had a 2-piece, so that trigger was a little bit more protected for being a softer holster. This one is just fabric. Now some features about this is that it's got different pockets and you can rotate the belly band, so if you wanna carry on your backside, if you have kids, or on your front, you can kind of rotate to whatever's comfortable. The only thing I don't like about this holster is that there's really no trigger protection. There's not going to be a lot of trigger guard. It's just very soft, thin fabric, so I can feel like I can actually just pull the trigger with the gun here. But just as an option for you to try out. Okay. I know what you're thinking. This one might be a little weird. And honestly, at first, I was so against it. I was like, this thing's weird. It's uncomfortable. However, this one is called the Enigma, and it's kind of like a chassis system. So it goes across. Now, this is really nice because it's kind of like a belly band, and you're able to put any of your Kydex holsters inside the waistband. So it attaches to this piece right here, wraps around your leg, and then you can really wear it with whatever outfit, and it sticks really close to your body, and you can still wear Kydex. Take a look at it. Don't think too poorly about it until you give it a try. All right, we're going out. So this one's a little tough. This is a romper, and then I'm also just gonna talk about different dress sizes. Remember the belly band that I was talking about? So there are also garter belts and then even ankle holsters, so that depending on what length that you have, if I was wearing like a work outfit to my knees, you can easily get a garter belt to wrap around your leg and then hold it on the inside or the outside of your leg to holster your gun. My go-to, and it's not my favorite, but I'd rather have a gun than not have one, is a crossbody bag. And what I do is I make sure my gun is holstered. Please, please, please do not put a loaded gun in your bag without some sort of trigger protection. But I do this, and then I put it in one of the pockets of my crossbody. I wrap the crossbody on so that it's on my dominant hand side so that I can easily grab it. Now, with this, I don't take the crossbody off when I'm sitting down, when I'm walking, when I'm using the restroom. You just leave this thing on you because remember rule number 5, you have to keep control of your firearm. Now, some ladies do like purses. The only thing that I don't like with that is that it gets heavy. You start throwing things in the bottom of your purse, because I know you do. Mine's like a black hole. And then you want to switch sides, and then you don't know which side the gun is pointing or which way the gun is pointing. With this, it's very simple. I keep a couple credit cards and maybe some lipstick on for my night out and my purse with my firearm. If I'm able to carry my firearm where I'm going and I'm not consuming alcohol, then I can easily draw if needed. Reholster. The gun is on my dominant side. I'm easily able to grab it, and I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. So now that we have some options on how to conceal, let's see what it looks like to draw your firearm from concealment. Coming up next in the tip of the week. Welcome to the tip of the week, and this week's tip is how to slay your gun draw. It's important to practice your draw during dry fire, which we've already covered in a previous episode, but you should try to draw quickly or put yourself under a little bit of pressure once you have figured out the basics and fundamentals of drawing from your holster. So, how do you get a good draw? So first, you want to take your non-dominant hand and grab your t-shirt and pull out first. You never want to pull up first because it's possible that your shirt can get caught on your holster, and that's just going to be bad news. So pull out, and then you're going to pull up. Now, normally when I dry fire, I try to pull up a little bit higher, but we're just going to stay at this level because we're being professional. When you pull up, make sure that you have clearance of your gun, and then your dominant hand is going to get a really good grip on your gun with your finger off the trigger. Once you do that, you're going to pull straight up. Finger is still off the trigger. I'm still holding on to my t-shirt, and then I'm going to point the gun at my target. Notice how my elbow kind of dips, and then my gun is immediately pointing at my target. This non-dominant hand is going to start to connect with my grip of my firearm, and the last step is to punch out while obtaining my grip. You want to do it here because I'm on target and I can actually shoot at my target safely even at this distance. So here, punch out. Now to reholster, fingers always off the trigger, I'm going to bring it in, basically going the complete opposite direction. Grab my t-shirt, and then what I like to do is kind of lean back a little bit, make sure your thumb is on the back plate of your gun, and then always look your gun into your holster. All right, so a couple more times. Non-dominant hands pull out and up. Get that grip on your gun, pull straight up, point at your target, and then punch out. Look your gun back in your holster. So it'll look something like that. Now what you want to do is make sure it's a fluid motion rather than that. You don't want to be clunky. You want to make sure it's a nice fluid motion, especially when you're dry firing at home. You can practice this at home. You can practice it on the range with live fire, at home with dry fire, but definitely practice it. Start off slow and then start putting yourself under pressure. And that's your tip of the week. So like I said, this is only scratching the surface on concealed carry and permit laws. The process can feel overwhelming, especially if you're a first-time gun owner. You have to think about safety and storage, training with your gun accessories. It's just a lot. If you don't know where to start, I recommend just choosing a couple holsters and then just seeing if you like them. Try them out. Remember, you can start at home with an unloaded gun to feel a little bit more comfortable. Come hang out with me next week because we're getting spooky on our Halloween episode. Hollywood just can't get gunfights right. And on the range, I have an expert to help us with gun maintenance and cleaning. Also, don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video so that I can talk 2A with you every week. My name is Paige, and your firearm freedom just got reloaded.